in command. And in verse 54, it talks about when the famine hit. And the 7 years of dearth began to come, according as Joseph had said, and the dearth was in all the lands, but in all the land of Egypt there was bread. Egypt had rose to a place of prominence. Everybody was looking toward Egypt. But this drought, this famine was global. There was a global problem going on.
Come on.
But in Egypt, they all looked to Egypt to bail them out.
Come on, sir.
Now, if you'll read that story, you'll find out in 46 and 47, Egypt had an immigration problem.
Yeah. Come on.
Stay with me now.
Come on, sir. Bless the Lord.
They let in all of Joseph's family. And the Bible does not say this, but history does. They were also letting in a group called that, probably can't say this, Hyksos. They were another wandering tribe, and Egypt began to let them in. The Hebrews also came in. Had an immigration problem. And the tribe of Hyksos finally took over the throne of Egypt. When you read, there arose another king that did not know Joseph. History says it was from the groups that began to invade. They took over the kingdom. Egypt had an immigration problem. Do we see anything happening here? Now, when the dearth hit, when the famine hit, in chapter 47, let me show you what Joseph done. 47 and 13, and there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they brought, and Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house, and when the money failed.
Come on, sir.
Do you see that? In the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came to Joseph and said, "Give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money failed." Joseph took control of all the money. It failed. There was no circulation. How many knows when circulation stops, money becomes worthless?
Come on.
He gathered all the money. The people had no money. And so they came to the government for bread. Are you hearing me?
Come on, sir.
And Joseph said, "Give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if money fail." And they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses and for their flocks and for their cattle and their herds and their asses, and he fed them with bread for all that cattle for that year. Joseph took the cattle, that was their industry. They raised cattle and sheep. They raised corn, but the corn had died in the drought. The government took the industry.
Come on, sir.
Took control. They bailed them out for the industry.
Come on.
Took it. Now the government's got the money, and the government's got the industry. And there's more ways to take the industry, folks, than to just say it's mine. You can do it through regulations.
Come on.
Through taxation. Through bailouts.
Come on.
Now remember, Joseph is not a citizen of Egypt, but Joseph is controlling Egypt. They're essentially having to do what the government says. They don't have a choice. Because the government owns everything.
Yes, sir.
And it was Thomas Jefferson that said a government that is strong enough to give you all you want is also strong enough to take all you have.
Yes, they are. Come on.
But see, because Christians do not understand that things work in a circle and God said, I'm going to require that.
Come on.
Christians stand by while it's happening and even join in the cause of its happening.
Come on.
Folks, we voted in the government that we've got.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm not standing up here telling you to vote Republican or Democrat. I'm not into the politics, but I'm just saying it happened because Christians allowed it to happen.
Come on, sir.
And if you think this next election is going to change things, then you have a dream too.
Come on. Come on. Amen.
Because it runs in circles. Look at verse 19. Well, go back up to 18. When the year was ended, I said 19, 18. When the year was ended, they came unto him the second year and said unto him, we will not hide it from my Lord, how that our money is spent. My Lord also has our herds of cattle. There is not aught left in the sight of my Lord, but our bodies and our lands. Wherefore shall we die before their eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread, and we will be the servants of Pharaoh, and give us seed that we may live and not die, and the land be not desolate. And Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh. For the Egyptians sold every man his field, because the famine prevailed over them. So the land became Pharaoh's. He took over the land. Now they have no money. They have no industry. They have no land. It all belongs to the government. And all the lands, folks, in communist lands now, there is no private ownership of land except for the Hayats. There is a move going on right now. There was a speech given in the UN here a while back. And the guy said that the nations coming together under a global control must do away with private land ownership because it was the greatest evil that stood in the way of social justice. It's happening again.
Yes, sir, it is.
Right now, Congress is deciding how much more land the government can steal out west. It's already before Congress.
Come on.
Turning private land into government land under the guise, folks, of preserving our environment and preserving things for parks and for recreation. Folks, our Constitution does not tell our government to own land.
Come on.
But see, Joseph didn't go by the laws of Egypt because times was hard and people forgot the laws of Egypt. Joseph became the law. Now look at verse 21. And as for the people, he removed them to cities from one end of the border of Egypt even to the other end. He's told them where they'd live, where they could be of most use to the government. He just moved them. Hey, they didn't have any land. They didn't have any money. They didn't have any industry. So the government put them where the government wanted them to be. To be of more use to the government. Assigned them places to be. Told them what they would do. And they had no voice because they had sold their souls to a government that promised them well-being. Are you hearing me? The circle is happening. The circle is happening. I remember a few years ago, now I'm not going